Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My dear students of Honest Platform, how you folks are doing? Today I will discuss an item of English language teaching theory and practice, and the item is task-based language teaching or task-based approach. And today I will dwell on the nature of tasks and lessons in task-based language teaching, and I will also discuss the advantages and disadvantages of task-based language teaching. The task-based language teaching is a variety of communicative language teaching which aims at providing opportunities for learners to explore both spoken and written language through learning activities which are designed to engage learners in authentic, practical, and functional use of language for meaningful purposes. The use of tasks also gives a clear and purposeful context for the teaching and learning of grammar and other language features as well as skills. Such language-focused components in turn enable learners to construct their knowledge of language structures and functions. And now, my dear students, I will dwell on nature of tasks. Richards, Platt and Weber regard a task as an activity or action which is carried out as the result of processing or understanding language. For example, drawing a map while listening to an instruction and performing a command. A task usually requires the teacher to specify what will be regarded as successful completion of the task. Willis defined tasks are always activities where the target language is used by the learner for a communicative purpose in order to achieve an outcome. Tasks are the activities which have the following 5 features. Number 1, meaning is primary. Number 2, there is some communication problem to solve. Number 3, there is some sort of relationship to the real world activities. Number 4, task completion has some priority. Number 5, the assessment of the task is in terms of outcome. After completion of the activities, students should have a better understanding of the target language. And now, my dear students, I will discuss the stages in lesson. Task-based language teaching as a learner-centered method draws on the learner's knowledge, and consequently materials are selected on the basis of both their needs and interests. The teacher does not predetermine what language will be studied. The lesson is based around the completion of a central task, and the language studied is determined by what happens as the students complete it. The lesson follows certain stages. Number 1, pre-task. The teacher introduces the topic and gives the students clear instructions on what they will have to do at what task stage, and might help the students to recall or remember some language that may be useful for the task. The pre-task stage can also often include playing a recording of people doing the task. This gives the students a clear model of what will be expected of them. The students can take notes and spend time preparing for the task. Number 2, task. The students complete a task in pairs or groups using the language resources that they have, as the teacher monitors and offers encouragement and motivation. Number 3, planning. Students prepare a short oral or written report to tell the class what happened during their task. They then practice what they are going to say in their groups. Meanwhile, the teacher is available for the students to ask for advice to clear up any language questions they may have. 4. Report. Students then report back to the class orally or read the written report. The teacher chooses the order of when students will present their reports and may give the students some quick feedback on the content. At this stage, the teacher may also play a recording of others doing the same task for the students to compare their task. Number 5, analysis. The teacher then highlights relevant parts from the text of the recording for the students to analyze. They may ask students to notice interesting features within this text. The teacher can also highlight the language that the students use during the report phase for analysis. Number 6, practice. Finally, the teacher selects language areas to practice based upon the needs of the students and what emerged from the task and report phases. The students then do practice activities to increase their confidence and make a note of useful language. Now, my dear students, I will discuss the advantages of task-based language teaching. The number 1 advantage is during the tasks, the learners are allowed to use whatever language they want, freeing them to focus entirely on the meaning of their message. This makes it closer to a real-life communication. Number 2, in all 3 stages, they must use all their language resources rather than just practicing one pre-selected item. Number 3, a natural context is developed from the students' experiences with the language that is personalized and relevant to them. Number 4, the students will have a much more varied exposure to language. They will be exposed to a whole range of lexical phrases, collocations and patterns as well as language forms. Number 5, the language explored arises from the student's need. This need dictates what will be covered in the lesson rather than a decision made by the teacher or the course book. Number 6, it is a strong communicative approach where students spend a lot of time communicating. Number 7, it is enjoyable and motivating and learner-centered. Disadvantages. One danger of the task-based approach or task-based language teaching is that focus on meaning could come at the expense of focus on form. Learners become quite fluent, but their pronunciations are not often accurate. In addition, they develop strategies to complete the task quite quickly, cutting corners in their language use and form. And let me, my dear students, wrap up my discussion by saying the conclusion. The task-based language teaching is gaining popularity nowadays, gradually replacing the form-based teaching methods. It focuses on the meaning of language and provides real-life situations for students to solve communication problems. It offers a structured approach to learning and supports the notion that learning occurs most effectively when related to the real-life tasks undertaken by an individual. It encourages the development of the reflective learner and accommodates a wide range of learning styles. It offers an attractive combination of pragmatism and idealism. Pragmatism in the sense that learning with an explicit sense of purpose is an important source of student motivation and satisfaction, and idealism in that it is consistent with current theories of education. And my dear students, thank you very much for listening.